Good morning and welcome to another episode of Geoblazer Consult Training Platform. I'm sorry to say good morning. There are some people in the afternoon while we're here today, and there are some people that evening. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever you listen to us in the world today. I'm sorry. Actually, today we'll be looking at the concept of georeferencing and how it's being done in ArcMap environment. What does say georeferencing? What comes to your mind as a layman? Even as an expert. Say, what does it mean? Actually, in GIS we try to answer five basic spatial questions, among which the question of what is the phenomenon you try to looking at? What is that phenomenon? What is that scenario you're trying to study? And another question is a question of where is the phenomenon taking place? That's the phenomenon you're trying to looking at. Where is it taking place? Another question is question of how. How does it look like and the place that it is? And what is the trend, what is the pattern, and the other things that you have to look into. That's the question of how. Another question is question of why. Why is the phenomenon taking place there, not here? And why is this phenomenon taking place here, not there? Why? Another question the GIS is very paramount to answer is a question of what if this phenomenon is taking place here and this how is taking place, what about if it takes place this way? How will it look like? That's the question of what if. Today we'll be leaving aside the question of what and be moving to the question of where. We'll try to answer that today. When GIS is trying to answer the question of where the phenomenon is taking place, we try to bring in what is on the ground into the system to try and analyze. And how do we do that? We start doing that with the process of georeferencing. And what is georeference? What is a georeference? What you think? Let's say georeferencing is a connotation of two words, the geo and the reference. You are trying to reference geo. Thus, you're trying to reference the word earth. So, the reference is the process by which you give an attribute, the spatial attribute of a particular location, to a raster data. Thus, for that raster data to be representing what exactly is on the ground using the coordinate of that particular location. Thus, that spatial Thus, raster data would inherit the spatial coordinate of the location of the Earth. So how is this process being done in ArcGIS environment? When we open our ArcGIS environment, this is how it looks like. And we will be wondering how to bring data into this environment. There are different ways by which data can be brought into this environment. The file that we'll be working with is under our C drive, and it is called training. On the training we have GeoRef1 and GeoRef2. We'll be working with GeoRef2. So let's open our ArcMap environment and bring that GeoRef2. We had the data. We bring the map in. You can see it's building pyramid. Building a pyramid allows the software to able to work with the data you are bringing in, because some situation may be where the volume of the data you're bringing in cannot be handled by the software, so the software tries to compress it. So here you can see on no spatial reference, then we click OK. The next thing we have to do here is we have to set our DataFrame property. And how do we do that? We come to view, you see DataFrame property. When we click on it, we'll be working with a reference system. The particular reference system we'll be working with today will be geographic coordinate system. Actually, we have two types of coordinate system. We have geographic coordinate system and projected coordinate system. Geographic coordinate system is where you are working on a wide platform, that's international platform. But when you're working on local platform, that's where you want to bring your data down to the local, like the projected coordinate system will be better. So that will be working with geographic coordinate systems, and we open that, we come to world WGS 1984 will be used, then we apply, then we OK. So the next thing for us to do now is to bring in our georeferencing tools and start adding the control points. You can click any place, you can right click any place on the ribbon, on this menu ribbon here, to bring out your georeferencing tools extension. We right click, we have it here, and you can see the file is trying to georeference is sheets 104 northeast, and it's still the same thing with what we have here. Then the next thing for us to do is to start adding the control point by clicking on this, and we zoom to the corner that we want to firstly start with. There's a first corner here. Then we'll look at the point of intersection between these two lines. There are many points of intersection, but I prefer using this middle line here. Then I click, then you right click, you input X, Y. I would love to make this comment. In normal mathematical graph, our vertical line, that's our vertical axis, will be representing our y-axis, while the horizontal will be representing our x-axis. But in GIS, the reverse is the case. The vertical will be representing our x-axis, and the horizontal will be representing our y-axis. And one more thing, we want to input the data here. It should be in decimal degrees, but what we have here is degree minutes. So for us to convert these degree minutes to decimal degree, what we have to do is just to divide these minutes by 60 to make it decimal, and we'll be having for that by having 8.75 for the first one, and the second one we having 11.50 for the second one. There we OK. You can see, so we're moving on a little bit. So we come back here and tie the next point. There's a point of intersection. We click, then we right click. So we are having 9.00 here, and here we'll be having 11.5. Okay, or the map has already disappeared. So we bring it back, we add the third point, and we'll look for the point of intersection as well. Then we click, we right click, we do the same thing for the other points, that's for the other corners. So this one will be 11.5, that will be 5/16, that's 25. Yeah, so we had the fourth point. So we right click, so we give this one 8.75, and the other one will be 11.25. I think that's good. So after which we'll come to GeoReferencing here. We update display, and we update GeoReferencing. If you have been so observative, you will see that initially our coordinate here is reading something like minus something, minus 11, and the coordinate is not correlating with what we have here. But now I believe we are having what exactly we should be having. It means this raster data has been referenced to a particular location on the Earth surface. So from here we'll be looking at another method by which georeferencing can be done. So another way by which georeferencing can be done is through the use of text documents. And how do we do that? Let's bring our data. Now the folder we'll be working with will be GeoRef_1, and here we have this folder. We'll bring it in. You can see it's still bringing, you still building pyramid, and I told you the reason why the software will build pyramid in the first place. So you can see we still have no special reference. Then we'll bring it in. Please note this. You can see the coordinate system is giving, the coordinate is giving us here. It's not even relevant to what we have at the corner here. So we have to be very careful. So that's when we're gonna know whether we have georeference the map or we have not. So by my looking at what is at the corner here, you can see it's not correlating with what is here. So let's go. So I expected us choose set our DataFrame properties. What I just did there is just right click, come to geographic coordinate system, world, WGS, apply. Okay, then we've already have our georeferencing tools there, but before we start, we have to bring in our text document in form of points. And how do we do that? We come to this file, add data, add XY data. So when we open that, we look for our text document in there. You can see is the one I call code. So it's still under this GeoRef1 folder. There we had it. We don't need to set the coordinate system again. It has already been set at the interface. The next thing we have to do is we click OK, applied. That you see the point here, this is where the map's supposed to be, and see the extent it has covered. This is where the map's supposed to be. If we are to zoom this point to layer, you see that we have having 4 corners. So you can even label so as to know which one represent which. You can see the top left, the top right, the bottom left, the bottom right. I intentionally did that when I was populating, when I was copying the coordinates. You can see, I believe you have to study these things very well. It's very important. The point you're looking at here is when I converted these degree minutes to degree decimal. That's what just happened there. So I believe you should understand. And the comma here is what I just use in separating these and this and this, so that the software can recognize them. So the next thing for us to do now is for us to come here, add control points. You see, so you come to the first corner. Instead of you, when we click on this, but before we go there, let me advise you to uncheck auto adjust, because it's very important for you to uncheck it. So after we uncheck that, we come here at the point of intersection, we click. Instead of right clicking the way we used to do before, we don't have to do that. What we have to do now is to come here, zoom the points to layer, and attach the points. So you must let it be at the center. So we've tied the first point. We go to the next corner, we tie the second point, and we'll do the same for the other points as well. So we come here, we zoom this one to layer. So we tie the fourth. So we go to the third. Oh, sorry. Oh my God. I believe the mouse is misbehaving. So the next thing we do the same for the other corners. The point of intersection. We zoom to layer here. And we tie the third point as a bottom right. So the fourth one again. We'll still look for the point of intersection between these lines two. Then we tie. Then we zoom to layer and tie the point to the bottom left. So we are done with the tying of the points. The next thing we should do is for us to update display, update your reference. Some people do rectify that when they want to compress the file a little more, but I don't think that will be necessary. So we update your referencing and then we're done. So the next thing we should be doing now is to zoom back this map to layer to see how does it look. So checking, you see the coordinate is a bit normal compared to what we have before. So with your reference our map, so we can now remove this point. It's of no use again. So these are the two of many ways by which you can do georeferencing in ArcMap environment. Thank you for being part of this class, and we'll be looking forward to hear from you in case of any comment and any additional knowledge you can give us in terms of this. Thank you very much.